Welcome to another episode of Bleav in Kings podcast. I'm your host, Mark Haynes, and you see who I'm sitting here with today, Sacramento Kings legend, one of the fan favorites of all time, my dog, Mr. Richaun Holmes, who's coming back on Sunday for the first time since he left. How you doing, my guy?
Oh man, can't complain at all. Can't complain at all. Doing well. Excited to be able to, touch base with you and be back in sack. With the opportunity. So, looking forward to it.
Yes, sir, man. And I'm gonna start off. I'm not gonna keep you long, but I want to start off with just kind of some of the memories you share in Sacramento. You was with Sac during bad times, and you got to be here during the good times or whatever. What was some of those memories that you always keep with you, moving forward?
Oh man, I think the first thing that sticks out to me really is when we made the playoffs and just running onto the court for that first home game. And I think all the guys on the team at that time would tell you like I don't think you'll ever get a feeling like that again. Just how electric it was. I mean, it was loud. You hear the cowbells ringing, and I mean, just packed out. I mean, packed out, loud. Can't
Everywhere.
hear. I remember looking at Fox, telling him like, "Man, this is crazy." He like, "I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can't hear you." Like you can't hear like the person next to you. Like that was one of the best atmospheres, if not the best atmosphere I've ever been a part of.
Nah, I remember, dude. I remember walking in because y'all played the Warriors that first round, so it was
Yeah.
like, stupid packed and parking was crazy. So they gave media a new parking, area. We parked at like a hotel, so we had to like walk a
Uh,
block instead of being right there. And then the
yeah.
walk there was just ridiculous. You had, bands outside playing, you had
Man.
DJs, it was ridiculous. That was one of the greatest scenes I've ever seen.
Oh
It was like
man.
a championship.
Definitely. Like it's like I said, just even like I'm driving up, like you said, just pulling up, understanding that something different going on tonight. Like it was like I don't even really know how to put that into words, but that's a memory I keep with me forever.
For sure, for sure. And the dark times in Sacramento, man. The dark
Yeah.
times of the under 20 win seasons and the playoff drought, the drought.
Mm.
Being a part of that, how fulfilling was it to, go from the struggling times of Sacramento to, making it to the peak that, we've seen in the modern era?
I mean, man, it was a lot of fun. I think even during the dark times, one thing we did was we always went out there and competed and had fun when I was there. And you can see that growing year by year. Like I just remember the year before we traded for Domas, like it was kind of like, man, we there. We just, we got to figure out how to close games, figure out how to do this, and it was always that conversation of how can we get better, how can we get to this level. And once the trade for Domas happened, what he brings and what he brought to Sacramento, it almost just happened inevitably. Everybody had been putting that work in, the organization from top to bottom, man, kind of paid off in that moment.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like, did you when that trade happened? Obviously, it moved you from the starting center position to the bench. But when that trade happened, did you know you guys got better immediately as a team?
I mean, absolutely. You know what Domas brings and what he had been bringing in the NBA up until that time, and he's only going to get better. And you know what to expect when he came in. He came in ready to work immediately, and took kind of that leadership role. So you kind of expected to be better. And I was just appreciative to have that opportunity to be a part of a team, that had a chance to win and had a chance to make it to the playoffs. Because up until that point in my career, I had never played in the playoffs. Never. I had played like 1 year in the playoffs with Philly, and
Yeah.
but up until I had never been a part of a team up until that point. I felt like that, could really do something special, and I really appreciated that moment.
And you also like you said, that was the first time being in the playoff. That was also the first year that the beam thing started or
Mm.
whatever. And what was your initial thoughts on the beam? I remember when I first heard it, I thought it was corny. I thought it was
Yeah.
corny. I was like, this not gonna stick, but it's something that stuck. But when you first heard about the idea of the beam, what did you think?
I didn't know what to think. Honestly, I didn't really understand it when they first brought it, but I think that first game, and I can't remember. I think it was Malik who hit it, and
Mhm.
Malik like that MF man.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
come in, and the energy behind it, it was crowd going, and then they count down. Then you hit the beam and you see the joint shining all night. I was like, oh no, this is fire. Whoever thought of
yeah.
this need a raise. Like the first day you saw it, you knew it was something that was gonna stick.
Yeah, no, that was
Yeah,
me too. Like I thought it was corny, but that first one, and and it continued. You seen, and at that time too, people, fans, NBA fans weren't sold on you guys yet. They was like,
yeah,
oh well, they gonna light it 6 more times throughout the year, and then
yeah,
you go
yeah,
on to have, a playoff year. But now that you're part of the Washington Wizards,
mm.
and this is going to be your first game back since leaving 2 years ago. What are some of the emotions you think you're going to have just coming back?
I think it's just gonna be a lot of excitement. Honestly, just haven't seen the Sacramento fans in a while. Just a chance to show some love back. They gave me a lot of love while I was here, and just show some of that love back. And just get a chance to see some familiar faces. It's going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of love, and I'm just looking forward to the night. I'm looking forward to it.
And obviously, it was when you departed, it was a bittersweet time for, I'm sure, yourself and the Sacramento community, because Sacramento, they really loved you when you was here, and your time, and all the work you put in. What were kind of those thoughts going on when the deal happened, where you were moved to Dallas?
I mean, definitely bittersweet. Been through a lot in Sac. Grew up a lot in Sac. It was a lot of love shown to me in Sacramento. Went through some rough times in Sacramento. It's just a lot of memories out there, and it was tough to move on from that. Had a house out there and everything like that. Had a connection with the fans, the team. But that's the business side of the game. And once the trade happened, I was looking forward to getting on Dallas, and trying to make an impact there, and just being grateful for every second I have in the NBA. So just wanting to go move on, do the best I could there, but also take with me those great memories I had in Sac, and always remember them. Always love Sac. Always love the Sacramento fans. That'll never change.
And you're year 10 now. 10 year been around. You're a seasoned vet, man, and
This is sound
you
crazy.
know,
10 years, that's crazy.
right? Yeah,
That's
that's where I
crazy.
was going with it. Did you, in year one? Because that was the first time I interviewed you. I had a podcast called Year One. We just talked about
Yeah,
your
yeah,
year, and
yeah.
from year one, did you ever Bleav? Obviously, y'all, we all have high aspirations, and goals and things like that. But did you think, 10 years from that day, you would still be in the NBA?
Man, honestly, I did. I did. I think after my first year, I talked to a lot of vets around. Like Carl Landry was big for me during my rookie year, and just understanding what it took to have longevity. And I feel like I latched on to that really early, just taking care of my body, how to be a professional, and as well as putting the work in. And I always envisioned myself being in the league until I was ready to walk away. That's just what I always envisioned, what I always saw for myself. And to see it in reality though is different, because I couldn't have imagined it being like this, going how it went. 10 years is crazy. It seems like I just was a rookie yesterday. Honestly,
Yeah,
some days I still feel like a rookie. So,
yeah.
but just grateful to God, man, for the opportunity, and to continue to be able to play this game is a blessing.
10 years, and was it six of those were in sack? Was it six
It was
or
four and sack,
four?
four and sack.
Four in sack. Four in sack.
Yeah,
Four in sack. Moving on, when you moved on, did what kind of, from the experiences in Sacramento specifically, what kind of experiences you took with you that kind of, is helping you, continue this long career that's still going, and we I don't know how many more years we plan on going, but
Man,
how
till the wheels fall off. Till the wheels fall off. But nah, for me, I think the main thing in those years, like you said, going from starting to a bench position, not playing that much, is learning how to impact the game off the court. Like talking to my teammates, talking to some young guys, letting them know what positions to be in. Just being that vet that the people can lean on that's playing. I can maybe see some things they can't see while they on the court. So just learning how to impact the game in that way, the film room and things like that, and taking more of a mental approach to the game, just so I can help the team that way. I think that's the biggest the biggest thing that I took from that time, from that transition in SAC after I left.
do you feel like, with Washington, you guys are young team, and it's do you feel like they're kind of similar to Sacramento when they were kind of transitioning to being a consistently good team?
I can see a lot of similarities. I think when I first got to SAC, we were a little bit further along in the process, just because you had Harrison Barnes there that's a good vet. Buddy Hield had been in the league for a while at that time, and Fox was kind of coming into his own. Here it's they get young, man, real young. Got a few 19-year-olds, coming into their own. 2021, I think we're like I don't know if the youngest or like second, third youngest team in the league. So I think just a little bit more on the younger side here in this part of the process. But the talent is very similar. The mindset to get better is very similar, and you can kind of see it progressing now.
Hmm. And Jordan Poole, I want to ask you about him. I know last year he got a lot of slack from obviously a lot of people that don't
Mm.
matter. But
Yeah,
this year, he's kind of silenced those naysayers with being a productive, not just productive, but
excuse me.
one a good young player in this league or whatever. What do you see from him, and he's won a championship in Golden State, and they actually, yeah, actually, y'all played against each other in that first. Was that the first was that the first round playoff series when
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
that
was that
Warriors thing?
was.
Do he
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
bring that up?
He hasn't brought it up. He hasn't brought that up. I don't even know if he remembered that. Because I don't know if he remember I was on that team. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
he never brought it up. But Jordan, man, he's one of the most positive people I've ever been around. Like never down. Confidence is always through the roof. Like, and he brings other people up around him. Like when the team has their head down, Jordan just he lights up the locker room when he walks in, make sure everybody got their head up, and that's the way he likes to lead, and that's how he goes about it. And man, it has a profound impact on the team, and especially the young guys. Just seeing a guy with confidence like that, no matter what the game before was like, or he's always on to the next game, next shot, and his confidence never wavers. And I think that's big, man. That's big.
That's what's up. That's what I'm a big fan. I like Jordan, man. I think he gonna be great too.
Oh, for
So,
sure. For sure.
but back to Sacramento,
Mm,
and you played for Mike Brown while he was here, and
mm.
he was in that first year of the Beam team. When you first got the news that he was relieved of his position as head coach, and Doug Christie was being promoted to the interim head coach, what was your initial thoughts?
I mean, honestly, it was just shock for me. Honestly, it was kind of like any other NBA fan. Didn't really expect that, honestly. And but yeah, Mike, feel like he's a good coach. I feel like he'll land on his feet, be fine. But yeah, it was just shocking. Like led the team to the first playoffs in a while. You don't really expect that. So, but yeah, just like I said, I was just like any other NBA fan, just kind of like wow. But knowing Doug and knowing that he got the position, the head coach, I knew Sac was going to be in good hands immediately. Like when I was there, Doug was somebody I leaned on, somebody that most players can lean on. Just having been through that fire and understanding, what it takes on the mental, on the physical. Doug's a great guy, and he's a great guy for the job. Honestly.
Yeah, that's what you do, man. You over you take my next question from me. I was gonna ask more about Doug and your relationship with Doug.
Yeah,
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 like
that's my man. That's my man right there. That's my dog.
do you think Doug, obviously like there is like a trend in the NBA with player coaches and stuff. The way the Sacramento Kings were struggling, they started off the year. I think at the time when they let Mike go, I think they were 13-17 or 13-19, something crazy like that. And they had high aspirations with bringing DeMar DeRozan in. Do
Mm.
you think some people are like Doug is, kind of just being a beneficiary of a good team, or do you think Doug Christie came in and kind of, like the name of this podcast, kind of got these guys to Bleav, that they can, that
I
they,
see what you did.
you're like,
Yeah, I see what you did.
is Doug that type of person where he could get guys to buy in?
Absolutely. And man, I give you an example of Doug. Doug, he gave this speech. It was the middle of the season the year we made the playoffs. And it was just a time we was all kind of lagging, kind of down. And just the dog days of the season. And man, Doug came and gave this speech that I still take with me to this day. And I can't repeat the whole thing, but he just talked about basketball and and if you ask Doug, he'll know exactly what speech I'm talking about. Said you got three women in your life. You got your mom, you got your woman, and you got your ball. We're gonna say the ball.
Uh,
Tell you what your mom do for you. He told us what your woman do for you. But oh, when he got to what that ball does for you, you just see everybody kind of oh, hold on, y'all. Yeah, he right. No. I love this. I love this thing. I love basketball. Oh no, this is my heart right here. And I think we went on like a good streak after that. But that's just an example of how Doug kind of just brings that out of you. Like he done been through it. He done been through fire. He done been through wars, and you can tell
yeah,
like he's still passionate about that. And I just think that's something you can relate to. Like, I'm getting fired up right now thinking about the speech. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Doug though. That's Doug.
that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. And like I said, man, I promised I wouldn't hold you long, man. I know we got the Golden State Warriors coming up, and
Yes,
you got to
sir.
prepare for that before we even get you to Sacramento. But I just want to say, yo, bro, I thank you for giving me your time and
Yes,
talking
sir.
with me for a few minutes, man. It's always love, and
Yes,
I
sir.
wish you nothing but love and success moving forward. And
Yes, sir.
although you have love for the Sacramento Kings, man. What what's happening when y'all get here?
We gonna just try to get a win, man. We coming there try to get a win. That's it. That's it.
All right, man. This is, I'm gonna wrap things up over here. Again, Richaun Holmes, 10-year NBA veteran, been around, done his thing. You've seen his highlights. We love him here in Sacramento.
Love
So
y'all
make
back,
sure
man.
y'all
Love y'all
continue to
back.
support and all that. And do you got anything, you want to say to Sacramento or, whatever, just to close this out?
Man, just want to say, Sack, love you always. I appreciate y'all. You know how I feel about y'all, man. Y'all held me down through the bright days, through some tough days, and man, it's always love for y'all and always love being in Sacramento. It's always gonna be that way, man.
Yes, sir, man. And this is Mark Haynes checking out. And it's the Bleav in Kings podcast. And until next time, peace. Boom.